Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoiled. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to stop your dog mouthing. I've re-recorded this introduction. You did have a really nice introduction of the dogs all running around on their walk in the rain. It was really lovely. It was great. Then technology happened and it's gone. So I've now got to do it again. So I'm sorry about that. It's going to be another video of just my boy sleeping. Sorry, I did do you a lovely introduction, but technology, hey? Anyway, something I want to address before I start this video is a lot of people commented on my last video that I did and mentioned Humphrey here, and they mentioned how fat he is. So Humphrey is a rescue dog from Korea. We've only had him for 4 days, and yeah, he is very fat and very unfit, and you don't need to remind me. I am well aware of it, and it's an absolute priority for me that he loses the weight and that he gets nice and fit and healthy. So a lot of you messaged me on Twitter about it, and thank you. I appreciate your concern, and it's nice to know that there are so many people out there who understand when a dog is fat and understand how awful it is for a dog and how important it is that you get it sorted out. But please believe me, I absolutely understand how fat he is, and I absolutely understand that it absolutely has to get sorted out, and I have everything in place to get it sorted out, and trust me, it will be sorted. But thank you for your concern. I just wanted to address that. Don't think that I'm not aware of the problem. So yeah, I'm going to talk to you about how to stop your dog from mouthing. That will be the next bit of the video, which I've already recorded because I'm doing this all backwards. Goodness me. Anyway, right, okay, so yeah, I'll go on to the next bit of the video, and I'll tell you how I sorted out mouthing. Okay, so they're all dried, all settled down, all 3 of them. If you know my channel, you know my boys. I've got Humps, we've got Albert, and then we've got Harry, all fast asleep after their walk. Okay, so it's most usual that you will have puppies that do mouthing. It's not that often that you come across an adult that does mouthing, because normally by that point it's trained out of them. So if you do come across an adult that for whatever reason it hasn't been trained out of them and they do mouth you, even if it's just playing, it's still quite unusual, and therefore it can be quite alarming, and certainly to a child. So first of all, a puppy. So getting mouthing out of a puppy is really quite easy. Although, to be honest, I've nearly got it out of Humps. It's been really easy. But the thing to remember is that there's a way to treat a puppy, or to teach a puppy to stop mouthing, and there's a way to teach an older sensitive dog. So Humps here, like I said, he's a rescue. He's doing incredibly well, and the cheeky side of him is really coming out. But he is very scared of a lot of things. He's very unsure. He's been through unbelievable awfulness in his life, and so he's a really sensitive dog. And so there's no way that I would train him the same way that I would treat a puppy. The training with him is being very gentle, very soft, very calm, very quiet, and it's working great. And the reason that I wouldn't use the same way that I use with a puppy is because with a puppy, puppies, when they are in their litter, if one of them, when they're learning to play, they will bite the other ones too hard, just because they don't know how to do it gentle. They've got to learn. And the other puppies will yelp, and that will teach the puppies that that bite is too hard. And they've got to learn what's called bite inhibition, and it's just teaching the puppies how hard they can play when they're using their teeth. So when you've got a puppy and they are mouthing you, all you need to do is, now I'm not going to do it because I think the noise would scare Humps. It would certainly wake all my dogs up. But it's a high-pitched yelp, and it's very quick. Doesn't go on for long, just quick, high-pitched, and it's a yelp. And it just will startle the puppy, and it would instinctively know that that means he wasn't allowed to do that. Now, like with Humps here, his bites are very soft. It's definitely very soft. It's not too hard. It's definitely very soft. But that's not the point. I'm just trying to teach him that you don't mouth people's hands. With puppies, those little razor teeth, oh my goodness, they hurt. And they will probably hurt you when they nip. So your yelps might actually be quite genuine. But whether the puppy is biting and it's hurting, or whether he's just mouthing, you need to get that stopped. And it doesn't matter how hard it is, even if it's really light. still do the yelp, because that's the language that he will understand. That's something that he will know what that means. And so therefore it's a very, very quick way to teach him. Now, what is important is when the puppy has got your hand, now whether he's holding on to it, whether your hand is just placed in his mouth, don't pull it away quickly, because that is going to encourage them to chase. And if you've got a dog with any prey drive, that will really encourage it, and that could lead to a harder bite. So just really slowly bring your hand away. What you can also do is when the puppy has got his hand around your mouth, yelp. Don't pull your hand away, because like I said, it could encourage him to chase. Yelp, that should make him drop his bite, and then very slowly pull your hand away. Then, whether you're sitting down or standing up, fold your arms and very quietly just turn away from the puppy. Now, puppies being puppies, what they're going to do is they're going to come round to the front of you, and they're probably going to carry on mouthing you. So you just if his mouth actually touches you, then you yelp again. If his mouth doesn't touch you, but his behaviour is still too excited, just calmly again, arms crossed, very calmly turn away from him. You can say no, but you have to keep that calm. Don't let your no be excited. So your yelp is quite high pitched. Then your no, let that be nice and calm, because you've got to lower the energy. And as always, I'm always blabbering on about energy. But during this time, don't get frustrated. I know it can be annoying. Don't get annoyed. Don't get frustrated. Don't get scared. Just keep your energy really calm, but assertive. You are in charge, and you are setting the rules, and you're doing it for his own good, so that he is a good little dog out in society. If you are teaching an older dog to stop mouthing, it's very much the same principle, but without the yelping. So if you've got an older dog, especially if he's Humps here is only 5, but he's been through a lot, and he's a sensitive dog. So me doing that high pitched yelping, I don't know what that would do to him. I think it would really, really scare him. You don't want the yelping to go on for too long, because that can create excitement. So quick, sharp yelp, done. But not with older sensitive dogs. Don't do the yelp. You just don't do it. That's not the way to do it at all. What you need to do with older dogs is you need to just really calmly, again, no, really calmly, no, and then calmly take your hand away, very, very slowly, very calmly. Put your arms into a cross your arms and turn. So whether you're sitting down or whether you're standing up, turn away. Now, what Humps has been doing when I do this is then been coming around the other side to see where I am. But he hasn't then been mouthing. And so if he's nice and calm and he's nice, then I will very slowly put my hand out and give him some attention. If he's not nice and calm, and his energy's still wrong, then I will just keep my arms folded and turn in the other direction. Now, what I've found with Humphrey is he only does this when I stroke him. If I'm massaging him, he doesn't do it. Now, I think that's very much an individual dog thing. I wouldn't say it's something that I've come across in my many years with dogs, but it's something with him I've noticed. And so when I'm stroking him, you can get about 4 or 5 strokes out of him, and then his energy completely changes. He gets very excited and he grabs your hand, which obviously I do not want. But what I've noticed is, if instead of stroking him, if I just massage him, so just with your knuckles, just do some circles, or just gently massage him, he doesn't do it at all. Now, I don't know if it's because yesterday I did some training with him with the mouthing, when he was doing some mouthing, and so he's just learned not to do the mouthing. So I don't know if he's just learnt that super quick, or whether it was because I wasn't stroking him and I was massaging him. And so I've told my husband, don't stroke him. When you go to give him affection, just do like circular motions or whatever motions you want, but more of a massage more than a stroke. Now, he hasn't been doing the mouthing with my husband. He hasn't been getting that excited. I think it's probably because I'm spending I'm with him all day, whereas my husband goes to work, so I'm spending more time with him, and I'm just doing his training, and I'm just more with him. Plus, he has a fear of men, and so it's understandable that he would be more excited around me. But it's really working a treat, it really is. And like I said before, if you've got a dog that has any aggression in him, which Humps doesn't, but if you do have a dog that has any aggression in him, it could escalate up to the next level. You can go from excitement to aggression really quickly in an aggressive dog. Now, even though Humps doesn't have any aggression in him at all, he does get very excited, and it's lovely to see, and he wants to play, and it's honestly, we've only had him 4 days, and I'm absolutely overjoyed that he wants to play, and it's great. But he has to learn that we can still play, and we'll play, but we are not playing with you putting your hand, my hands in your mouth. Like I said before, I absolutely don't think it's acceptable for a dog to ever put any part of a human in his mouth. Now, when dogs are playing together, they do, but it's soft and it's gentle. And if it's not soft and gentle, the other dogs will stop playing. And like I said, if they're puppies, then the other dogs will yelp, they'll stop playing, and the dog gets the message really quickly. So with dogs, you will see dogs when they're playing and they're mouthing, but it's very soft and it's very gentle, and that's how they do it, and I've no problem with that at all. But I absolutely do not want him mouthing human beings. And like I said before, if a child, obviously, like I said, yeah, we are so far away from me letting children stroke him. But we do go on a lot of picnics to National Trusts and stuff like that. And a lot of children do come up and see my boys. And my 2 other dogs absolutely love it. I mean, they love children and they love it. And they've been taught from a very young age, how to be. And so they're very gentle with children, and it's lovely. But obviously with Humps, he hasn't had like a normal dog beginning, and so he hasn't been taught any of that. But you imagine if a little child came up to him to say hello to him and was stroking him and it was all fine, and then suddenly Humps just puts her hand in his mouth, that could give the child a fear of dogs, which I am so hot on that, making sure that children, because of my dogs, only grow to love dogs more. And adults could think the dog bit the child. It's just really bad. And also, children are very high-pitched and very excitable and very squeaky. So you can't have that energy matched with a child. It's a really, 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 really bad energy to match with a child. And so if Humps gets excited when people give him attention and the child is squealing with delight, you've got a really dangerous situation there. And even if the dog isn't aggressive, just a playful dog could really hurt a child. And so it's really important, and it goes back to the whole thing of the mouthing is just an energy that I don't want at all. I think it's a very dangerous thing, and I don't want that energy at all. Now, as far as I can see, he learnt that in a couple, maybe there were 3 episodes yesterday of it, and then today, like I said, instead of stroking him, I've been massaging him, and I haven't had anything at all. So I'm really, really pleased with it. I really, really think that he's got the message, and I think it's going to be absolutely fine. But please remember the difference between whether you're training a puppy, you can do the squeal, but if it's an older sensitive dog, don't do the squeal. Because also the squeal is very evocative of different stuff. Like it could set prey drive off, it could set excitement. If there's any aggression, it could set aggression. So I wouldn't recommend that you do that in an older dog. I would recommend just don't do that in an older dog. It could be a bit dangerous. Keep it just for the puppy who the squealing won't have any effect on them. It's a language they completely understand. By the time you get to a dog of 5 years old, they maybe don't understand that language quite so clearly, and it might become more of a fear thing. So that's how I'm dealing with his mouthing, and how I've dealt with many, many puppies. I've never actually had to deal with an adult dog before that's mouthed. This is my first experience of dealing. Well, I mean, I've trained an awful lot of dogs, and some of them have been mouthing, and I've just turned sort of away and did all that. But my own dogs in my own home, this is the first one I've had to deal with. But that seems to be working well. But the squealing with the puppy, I have dealt with that hundreds of times, and it absolutely works a treat. Okay, so if you've got any questions about it, just please pop them into comments, because I know, especially if you've got a puppy, it's hard, I know. And if you've got a rescue, it's not always easy. So if you've got any questions, pop them into comments. I'll try and help. Other people in comments might help. And as always, I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and you know, a lot of you are coming onto Twitter to message me on there, and that's fine. You can message me wherever you want. Furry and Spoil, hashtag Furry and Spoil. And you know, it will be all right. You'll get there. You will get there with it. It might seem a little bit hard, but you will get there with it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.